All right, guys, so this is going to be a mobile example of how we take off tires and install them. So first we're going to jack up the car. So Eric, go ahead. So usually if we're in a tight spot, we want to make sure that everything's level, make sure that everything's straight right here. And first thing we're going to do is going to jack up the front of the car. So go ahead, Eric, go into this area right here, find the lift point, find the best lift point, and go ahead and jack it up. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna find the best lift point underneath the vehicle so we can lift it. And usually when we're outside in a parking lot or something, we wanna make sure we're at an angle so we have enough room to jack the car up. So if we're in tight spots, we kind of want to angle it to the side, or angle it to this side, or cross it. Now the other side. We're going to find the same lift point on this side. And we're going to jack it up from this side also. We're going to get this side level with the other side to make sure everything is leveled correctly. Then we're going to come to the back. And we're gonna find the best lift point from the back and jack it up from down there. So once the back is lifted about 2 to 3 inches, we want to make sure that the front is also lifted the same level. Ready? Get it to about the same level. That way the car is not rocking or shaking, and everything's on. So after the car is jacked, the cones are also used to show anybody in the street that we're out there. So we would actually want to grab the cones and put one in the back of the vehicle and one in the front of the vehicle. That way anybody that drives by knows that we're working in the street. Now first thing to turn on the van, what you're gonna do first is turn the valve up, close the valve. Go ahead, Eric, close the valve. And then up here, we're gonna turn this switch on. That's to turn on all the machines. So go ahead and switch for me. And then this one right here, this button, transfer it over to the right. That's to turn it off. Now transfer it over to the left. That's to bring it back on. Then you want to make sure that you have your charging going. Make sure everything's charging by these lights being on. You want to make sure the balance machine turned on. If everything doesn't turn on, if you don't see everything charging, then you come back here. So if everything doesn't turn on and you don't see nothing charging, all you're going to do is come back here. You're going to pull these 4 switches down, and then you're going to turn them back on. After you do that, you're going to hear beeping from the balance machine, and then you're going to look at your charging system, and you're going to make sure that those lights are on. Okay? So then right now, as it's running, as it's pumping up, go ahead and grab whatever you need to pick up the tires. So usually when we're outside, I like to grab a container like this. That way no lug nuts are sitting on the floor. And then whatever, what is it, 22? 7 So we'll grab that. There you go. We'll take it down over here. Yeah. I like to have a little container out in the streets just so we don't leave the lug nuts laying around, so we don't lose any of the lug nuts for them. If they do have nice lug nuts where they're not scratched around in any way, that way we're keeping them preserved inside the container while we're working on the vehicle. After we take off all the tires off the vehicle, we're going to swing the tire over here to the side of the mobile van. So this is where we can inflate it. Also, we grab the 2 tools that are needed to take off any of the weights. And then, so whatever weights that are on there, we're going to remove. I don't see any. Do you see any? Nope. Okay. And then go ahead and pick up the hook shot. So over here, this is where we wait for the pressure. We wait for the pressure to get all the way up here. Once it gets to about 130, it's going to shut down, and then you're able to go ahead and use it. Every time it gets to a certain point, it's going to start to run again till it gets to this point. So there it is, we're good. Now go ahead, Eric, come up here. So now, to move these out of the way, there's a little handle right here. All you do is bring it all the way up. Move these slide out of the way. And then this one right here has a little tight bar where you can bring it in and out. So you push that all the way back and tighten that unless you need it, whenever you do need it. These are the controls for everything. This one right here is going to be to control the arm. So this button right here is to loosen everything, to bring that in and out, and to bring this up and down. And if you want to tighten it, all you got to do is push the button back down, and it locks it up. This pedal right here is going to, but make sure this is loose. That way you can hold this down. So when you push this pedal down, this will go all the way back. So if you leave this up, when you push this back, all it's going to do is slam into there. And you don't want that to happen, because then eventually you're going to break something. So you want to make sure you bring this down, push the pedal, and then it'll slide all the way through. Just like that. Now these ones, to close it, of course to open it. And if you hold on to the pedal really lightly, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to move it as far as you want. So just a little push, you got to put it where you want. Full close, full open. And of course, the turn. Like I said, once that goes down how I was using the machine, once it goes down a little bit, the machine's going to kick back up to put the pressure back above 130. All right? So go ahead and pump it. Now to make it easier, move those out of your way, Eric. swing those bars this way. Swing that bar that way. And you want to make sure the valve stem is always either point up or point down. So you're always going to have the valve stem either directly up or directly down. That way when you're pushing in the tire, you're not going to damage the valve stem at all. Or the sensor if there's a sensor in it. All the way to the top. Not the same, man. All the way to the top. Yep, now go ahead and lift it up now and just place it on the mounting machine. When you do that, now go ahead and move those ones out of the way, all the way to the side. Now go ahead and find your clamps on the bottom. Make sure it's even in the bottom. Remember, if you slightly push down that pedal, you can bring them slowly in to get them exactly where you want. Just a nice little push. There you go. There you go. Now once they're fully closed on there, you want to make sure the valve stem's out of the way when you bring down the duct head. So go ahead and bring down the duct head. Bring down the duct head. And then once you get it on there, go ahead, push it down. Now close it. There you go. Now your pry bar is going to be right here. Now go ahead and stick it in there. Now bring it over. There you go. That's fine. Go ahead. All right. Get it back in there. Flip it over. There you go. Now go ahead and go. There you go. Now here. Keep going. That's about right there. Good. Now we're good. So now when you get to this point, if you can't lift it by yourself, that's what this nice tool is for also. So if you bring it all the way down, bring it all the way down underneath the tire. Now once you get it underneath the tire, go ahead and lift it back up. And then all you got to do, pull that over. Move that out of the way. Now go ahead and push on the pedal. And just like that, you don't have to hurt your back. So now, when you get to this point, drop this a little bit, unloosen that. Once this unloosens, make sure you push this back first. Once you push that back first, then you push on that pedal, and you ain't got nothing to worry about. Because it's perfectly back. And go ahead and grab your tire, take it off. Now let's go ahead and grab that other one. So usually if we're out in the street, I'm going to leave. Let me see that tire. So usually if we're out there in the street, I'm going to grab, after I do a tire, I'm going to grab it, I'm going to leave it right behind my vehicle. And then I'm going to grab the new tire, and I'm going to bring the new tire back over to the van. That way when I'm out there in the street and I keep the tires right next to the vehicle, I'm not causing no trash in the street, not causing no, not in nobody's way. I'm keeping the old tires in the back. So that's why when I'm done with the job, I'll just go ahead and flip it right up here. I always want to keep things out of the way though, of this machine and this bar right here, especially when you're inside working. Because if you have a tire right here, you can't push your pole all the way back. And if you have a tire right here, you're going to break the machine if you try to push it on the road. So let's go ahead and put that one on there. So now I have my lube up here, and I always keep a water bottle with me, just so I can add a little bit of water to it. Add enough water in there, make it a little moist. Now go ahead and throw the tire on the rim. And we're gonna lube up both sides of the tire. Want to make sure we lube it so it can go on there easier. There we go. Okay, so now when you do this, go ahead and put the tire same way you took it off. Put it like that. Okay? Then then this is when you bring this down, okay? Enough to bring it down where you're gonna clear this spot, but you don't wanna get jammed up on the tire. So make sure the tire's all the way, not all the way down, but like at least right there. And then you wanna make sure that pole's right there. So then you go ahead and push this button down, make sure it's cleared, then you're good, okay? So go ahead and bring the tire forward, and go ahead and clamp the duck head on there. There you go. Now, same thing. Push it over and then push it this way, just like this. Just like that. Boom. Now go ahead and push on the button. Yep, other way. There you go. You keep going. Wait till that valve stem passes, and then boom. Go ahead and start pushing down.
Why do we have to wait until the valve stem passes?
Because you don't want to break the valve stem with the duck head or with the strong rubber.
Okay.
So, and then so what we can also do to show you how the other duck head works. Where's the pry bar? So if we did have it, let's say right here, and the tire was trying to go on it, what the rubber's going to do is going to pinch against the sensor in there, and it's going to completely snap it. But what I want to show you is how that works. So let me just. So you just want to make sure the valve stem clears to about, when you use this, to about right there. So if you can't, so if it's a low pro tire and the thin wall and the sidewall is real thin, and you can't really get the tire on there without any help, so bring that back up. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring this. So this one is gonna have to be right here. Tighten that. This duck head. Same thing right here. Now bring it down. Now you want to make sure that this tip is going to be right at the tip. Go ahead. A little bit. Bring it up back up. Right there. Go ahead. Go. So you want to make sure it's about right there, okay? This could actually even come a little bit more. So this way, you have nothing to worry about. All you got to do is make sure it doesn't pinch on that side. Make sure you keep it open. But right now, you don't even need to do nothing. With this kind of tire, this is what's going to happen. Everything's done itself. This is excellent for low pro tires. So if you have a low pro tire, 25 series, 30 series, 35 series that you really can't get on there, use that duck head and you'll get it on with ease. So now after this part, so now that you got the tire on and everything, there's your air hose. So go ahead and stick the air in there. Now your little pedal's gonna be on the side, right there. Yep, that one over there. So if you want to go ahead and unclap it, you can go ahead and unclap it. Take off the clamps, lift the tire up, close the clamps back up, and put the rim back over it. That way you're not scratching the rim in any way. Now he's gonna fill it up. Gonna go all the way up, and your feet's gonna be over there to show you what pressure you're on. Don't push down too much, it's not too quick. And then put down the pressure. You want to do it installation to liven it up a little rough with it, you know? Hey. Yeah, man. I think that's why you gotta show the skinny guy, right? So I can move around here, huh? Now here's your And I always leave the stuff right here next to the tire. That way it's easier for me just to grab. So everything for the tire, I always leave in this column right next to the mounting machine. Push down on there. So that would be for if it won't air up and there's a lot of room inside the rim from the tire, then you're going to use that extra air push from the bottom. You just push down really hard and it's going to feel about 120 pounds of pressure instantly. And just want to make sure you get to about 40. Now this is where the extended needs to come in. It's not a normal balance machine. Make sure you always have your trash can also. Alright, so let's look at that turn so you can hear me. Last tire over here. So what you do is make sure this is down. Oh. That one's down all the way. Push that all the way up to the top and lock it. That way it's not moving. These, if they're closed, go ahead and open them all the way up. That way you're bringing your stick all the way out. Bringing this one forward. This one gets tucked in there like that. Once they're all tucked away, bring it down. When you bring it down, it's going to clamp. That's it. That way nothing is moving around back here. Everything's going to stay still. And then when we come here, now this is the way the balance machine works. Well, first we're going to put the tire on there. We got all different types of cones. So different sizes for whatever tire. If we don't have the right cone, we got these spaces right here. So what these are for, these go inside of the lug nut holes. Any size. We got the 4, the 5, and the 6. These can fit any rim. All you got to do, put them in the right spot. And all you do is turn this and just find the right spot. That's only if you don't have the right size cone. If you have the right size cone, slip that in there. Make sure it's lifted on there. Twist all the way till it's tight. And then that's tight. So now over here on the machine, in order to get it to the right dimensions, what we're going to do, first we're going to look at the rim. Eric, we're going to first look at the rim and see what we need to put on there. It's either we're going to put aluminum weights on the lip or we're going to put stickies. For this type of tire, I usually do stickies. So to get the dimensions right, we're just going to leave everything alone like that. We're going to get the measurements down. Once it clicks like that, if you're going to do the sticky weights, press it one time. You only get 2 options. So you're going to have that option for the aluminum weights, or you're going to have the next option, which is going to be for the inside sticky weights. So you first do the sticky weights that are the inside. Then you go ahead and give it a spin by turning it until it beeps. Once it beeps, you go ahead and let it go. And you're going to wait for it to click again. Once it clicks again, it's going to show up how much weights it wants you to put on the rim. So it's showing you 325, 675, okay? But that's just for now. So once you stop it and it comes to a halt, it's going to tell you where to put them. But you only want to put one sticky weight inside of there. So what you're going to do is switch it. This is now giving you the option to go ahead and switch it to where you want to put it. So you want to put it on the inside. You're going to put 4 ounces of sticky weights. So we come to our sticky weights. We're going to first get out the 4. After we get out the 4 weights, we're now going to clean the rim to make sure that the dirt is gone so the weights can stick. So now this right here is going to tell you where it's going to go. So if you go up, it's going to go all the way up. If you go all the way down, it's going to go all the way down. So what you're trying to do is get it right about there. So once you get it in the right spot, it's going to start beeping. You leave it there and you start wiping down the surface. Make sure the whole surface is clean from any dirt so it could stick. So then we're going to go ahead and put the 4 ounces. And then once we put the 4 ounces, we're gonna go ahead and give it a spin and make sure it zeroes out. Then we just give it another spin until it beeps. And then once it starts beeping, you let it go, and then it's gonna give you zeros. And that's how you know you have a perfectly balanced tire. Then you take it off. So if you don't need the stickies, we have everything labeled up here for the steel weights and for aluminum weights. And then I go ahead and slip that back on there when I'm on my last tire, put everything away, and close my trash can, get everything out of the way, and then we take it to the vehicle. Don't forget the hubcap neither. Back. And this is why I have the, you want to put it in the back one? Yeah, somewhere. So this is why I have it in the container, because now we know exactly where they're all at. Come straight to them, throw it on the vehicle. Oh, if you have a vest, I should have had them put on the orange vest too. Huh?
Oh, that's okay. We'll make a note.
Yeah.
You got that at Amazon?
Harbor Freight.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Recommend this when you're in the street. I recommend you put this on. There are cars that pass by. Also, we could get their attention from us doing the job in the street, and then they come and ask us questions too about the mobile service. And one last thing too, if your battery ever dies on your gun, this is where all the batteries are. This is your battery pack for your gun. This is a battery for your flashlight. So anytime you need a new one, all you gotta do is push this button, slide it out, put it on the new one, get the old one, and slide down back in. Make sure the charging is always going, and you're good to go.
All right. And then now to turn off the...
To turn off the we want to do is turn down the valve. To stop the machine completely, flick off the switch, and then on charging mode, you want to flick it to that side. That way, its operations are just charging. So you keep it right here. Once you plug it in, just go ahead and plug it in. And we'll show you what the light does. So you know it's correctly charging. So then we bring this over here. Just plugging it in. Once we plug it in, we're gonna come and look to make sure. Everything's good. And then we're gonna see right here. As long as that light's blinking, that light's showing that it's charging. Okay, awesome. That's all. That's the mobile service, guys.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Go to the store.